What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rants and Raves. Today we're going to be talking about the Avengers Endgame. So, me and Kyle went and saw it about a week ago. Almost. Not really. Not
It's been
quite
like
yet.
3 days.
It's been like 3 days. And, yeah, spoilers ahead. And now that warning is out there, go for it, Kyle.
Fucking Captain America lifts Mjolnir! He does it! We've been waiting for this since first Avengers movie. I'm talking really heavily accented. I don't know why. Okay, so yeah, we've been looking at this since Age of Ultron, since the scene where they have the contest to see if anybody can lift it. And you see Cap lift it a little bit, and then it goes back down. A lot of people are thinking that he was always worthy, but he wanted to spare Thor. But there's another theory going around that
after what happened, now he's worthy.
No, it was after he cleared his conscience about knowing that Bucky killed Iron Man's parents.
Oh, okay. Maybe, but there's probably even more that he tells secrets about. I bet you he lies about a lot of things.
Oh yeah, probably.
I wonder if him and Black Widow ever fucked.
Some other people think that it's the moment when he decided to go against Tony in Civil War because of what he found out that they were doing to Scarlet Witch. He put and the fact that they were saying that the Avengers couldn't act unless the UN said they could. He was putting the needs of everybody else over his own, because if they decide who gets saved and who doesn't. And
but as he said on Avengers Endgame, he wanted a suit of armor around the world. That was the whole point of what was happening. And Captain America was
that was the point of Ultron, not the Sokovia Accords.
I know that. I think that would have just caused him to get more. The better structure, I think, is what he was going for as well. They wanted that kind of structure, yes, but at the same time, they wouldn't have been able to respond at all unless the government gave them the go-ahead. But
which means that they wouldn't have time for a lot of things. Like, if Ultron had attacked and they hadn't caught it when they did, and then they were told, no, you can't go in unless we tell you it's okay, they wouldn't have been able to do anything. They would have
still gone in, though.
That's the thing, though. They would have been breaking the Accords, which is why Cap was trying to fight them in the first place, so they wouldn't have to worry about breaking those laws and then becoming fugitives anyway.
I don't know. So the thing is, I agreed with Cap on that whole side, though.
Yeah,
I agreed with Captain America. I thought he had the right idea. I thought the whole Accords was bullshit. Although in the comics, it was just, hey, if you're a superhero, sign up and you belong to us.
Okay, so we're not talking about the whole MCU here, though.
I know, but I'm just saying, I agreed with that. What I didn't agree with was the whole mom and dad being killed by the friend. Let's not talk about it to spare him. It's kind of bullshit.
You should have just told him.
And then that side, when Iron Man was beating the fuck out of Captain America, I was happy.
But the thing was, I think another thing was, at the end of it, he gave up his shield to defend his friend. He straight up drops his shield to make sure that Bucky was okay.
Yeah.
And I
would have fucking loved it if Iron Man just killed Bucky.
You're so morbid.
He killed his parents!
Would have been. I don't think they should have killed him. I think it would have been funnier if he just blew his other
If
arm
I was
off.
on fucking ecstasy.
Just imagine that, though.
What?
Instead of him outright killing Bucky, he blows his other arm off, then he has 2 vibranium arms.
No. If I was on ecstasy, though, and I fucking stabbed your mom in the stomach, and I was blacked the fuck out, that next day, she's dead on the floor, would you still not want to kill me? Or would you be like, oh, he was on ecstasy, it wasn't
Drugs
on
are
him.
a lot different than brainwashing, George.
Fine. If I met a woman and fall in love, and I stabbed your mother...
That's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. But if I stabbed your mother, and then she died, and I was brainwashed, because it's a woman, they brainwash you, would you still want to kill me?
Yes, but the thing is, it's the question of do you. It's not the question of do you want to.
If I had Iron Man's suit, I would so start murdering people.
You're a bad person, George.
I'm not a bad person. I'm a good hero.
You're a bad person.
I'm not like Batman in the sense I'm like, oh, if I kill him, it's the same number of killers in the world. No, if I kill many bad guys, there's way less bad guys in the world. Okay, next.
So Endgame. So the first 20 minutes.
Sad as fuck.
Yeah, you see everything happen. They decide to go after Thanos.
Can we point out the whole Hawkeye thing? Like the first 2 seconds.
Oh yeah,
of
the first 2 seconds of the movie.
Like literally, it starts out like it's like like a family happy documentary, and he's just like teaching his daughter, and it's like shaky camera, like a Paranormal Activity movie. He's teaching his daughter how to shoot a bow, and then he fucking looks away, he looks back, and she's flaked into dust.
And along with all of his kids.
Like, you try to tell me that wouldn't fuck you up. This movie is I feel like has much more of a cinematic, like you feel for the characters than any of the others. Like, Infinity War had it quite a bit.
You know what's funny, though? They were hyping us up for the movie, saying that he was going to be Ronin and that he was going to be a much darker character.
Yeah.
He was only in that dark character for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, but then again, you have to remember that they made his character to be that way in the first place. You can't just randomly change someone's entire being.
Well, no, because the story was supposed to follow the comics and that he became Ronin after his family died.
Yeah, but...
And he stays that dark persona throughout the whole thing, but in this movie, he's Ronin for about...
5 years.
5 years, but in the actual movie, he's only Ronin for about 20 minutes. Because Black Widow shows back up, and all of a sudden he's back to being the jolly, happy Hawkeye.
He wasn't really...
He wasn't
happy at all.
He wasn't super happy, but no, he lightened up a lot more, and he went back to the Hawkeye persona.
Well, yeah, if you fucking start murdering a bunch of people, and then your old friends are like, we still love you, and they bring you back, you're gonna be like, wow, I still have love, I'm happy now. Like...
Not really.
There's some type of...
Not really, though. You're still a murderer.
Yeah, no, there's some type of emotional backing. Like, when I killed those 12 people, you guys took me in. And,
what?
What? No, but when he goes back in time for the test,
yeah,
and he's getting ready to say hi to his kid,
and then gets pulled out,
that fucking killed me on the inside.
I think, there are a lot of things about that movie that were kind of disappointing. I think the main thing that disappointed me...
Was Thor?
No.
No?
No. It was Captain Marvel. Because they hyped her up so hardcore in the origin movie, said she was going to be a huge part of Endgame, and she was in the first 10 minutes.
And she didn't even play a big part in winning, if you
No,
really
she
think
took
about
out the ship. That was it. She
took out the ship.
She did her thing. She punched the ship in
caught
half.
Thanos' fist, and she had this really powerful character moment, and then she was kicked. Yeah. 100,000 feet.
He headbutted her, and she didn't flinch.
Was it a headbutt?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. But no, then he fucking kicks her, and she goes flying, and then she's done for a while.
Yeah.
And then when she comes back, it's her with all the other women of the MCU. And it's like, oh, shit. This could be a movie on its own, or a porn, either one. And
why not both?
Oh, there's probably a porn out there already. It's someone's Spider-Man's protected by 14 women, and whew, okay. But no, so, yeah. But, for me, the most disappointing part was Thor. I didn't like the whole fat Thor. And you could tell, the fat looked fake as shit. It didn't even jiggle. It was stiff fat. It's not how fat works.
Some people have that.
No, you could tell it's like a fat suit, and it wasn't a good fat suit. But, I love it at the beginning, though. Well, when you first see Thor, and he's in, his little hut, and they're playing Fortnite.
Yeah, they're playing Fortnite.
Korg's
he starts threatening some kid over the computer.
Stuntmaster 69 or some shit. And he's like, hey, Thor, can you help me out? This kid's being a real douche again.
He threatens him to go to his house and kill him, and then
apparently fly to your house.
Kid apparently goes and cries to his mother.
I thought that was funny as shit. But I thought I talked to you about this. I thought Thor was gonna become that character that like you said, he got the hammer and then all of a sudden he's ripped again. That's not what happened. Also, he was a pussy.
For the entire movie,
but didn't dare to do anything until
the thing was
the actual fight.
he was scared to fail again, and you can understand that.
I don't know. I still I would have that built up rage forever. After that,
I don't know.
You would.
But how the movie ends though. I don't want to spoil every little bit.
It's for people. The spoiler review is literally for people who have seen it.
Yeah, but I mean more. I don't want to go through every little detail throughout the movie. Because there are some moments that you have to actually watch and experience to know what it feels like, and not a lot of people.
Fine. So we'll hit the big parts.
Yeah.
Them moving back to 2012. during Avengers.
Well, they figured out time travel with the quantum realm.
Talked about hot tub time machine.
Yep.
Yep.
And so they go on what they call a time heist to get all the old Infinity Stones from where they were in time. There were 3 of them in New York in 2012, so they sent Hulk, Iron Man, and Captain America there to grab those 3 stones. Oh, and Ant-Man.
Mm-hmm.
They had to go get the Power Stone from Morag, the Soul Stone from Vormir, and time, space, mind.
The
Reality
Scepter.
Stone. The Reality Stone they had to go get from Asgard.
Yep. The ether.
Yep. They had to suck it out of Jane.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh God.
That could be another porn.
Suck it out of Jane. Okay, I'm done. Yeah.
So some shit happened.
I like the Captain America v Captain America fight.
That
was
cool.
pretty good when he's like, I can do this all day. And he's like, yeah. Like, I know. And what bothered me also, though, Captain America, after Avengers 1, and then you hit Avengers 2, still not as good. No, you hit Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is where, I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I've seen most of it. I didn't finish.
Winter Soldier is where he shows real new fighting styles. Like, he's acrobatic as fuck. He's flipping, beating the fuck out of everybody. Captain America 1, you didn't see as good of fighting.
Yep.
But then, when you... Or, not Captain America 1. Avengers 1. But then, when they go back to Avengers 1, his younger self almost beats the fuck out of him.
That's
which
true.
makes no sense. Because he's a much better fighter later on in the fucking movies. So when I saw that, I was like, he should just lay that motherfucker out. But the call line where he's just like, Bucky's alive, and he's like, huh? Just pa! I was
Knocks
like,
him out.
nice. But yeah, that was like, I think that was one of my favorite scenes, honestly. I would have loved to see a Thor v Thor. No, not Thor v Thor. Hulk versus Hulk. Like, Smart Hulk versus...
Rage Hulk.
Yeah. Me and Zach were talking, and we were wondering if Hulk is less strong.
He is. If they're following the comics anyway. Because his strength is based off of how angry he is.
Yeah.
But when he accepts the Hulk as a reality in his life, he's no longer as angry. He's enjoying himself. He may always be in that stronger state. He's stronger than a normal human, but he is not as strong as that fully rage-induced Hulk.
If he gets really pissed.
He can still get to that state, but 9 times out of 10, he is not there.
I just realized you don't really see him fight.
Nope.
At all.
Nope.
Does he even take on Thanos as Smart Hulk?
Nope.
He doesn't. That's disappointing. I forgot about that.
He threw a motorcycle, and that was about it.
I loved it when he's trying to pretend he's the rich Hulk. And he's like, and just hits a car.
Banner, it might be good if you smash some things. I think it's gratuitous, but smashes the top of a car, gently tosses a motorcycle.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
The biggest feat of strength you see him pull throughout the entire movie is when they're pissed off at the lake after Black Widow ends up passing, and he takes a bench, like a picnic bench, and just fucking hurls it across the lake.
That was pretty good. So that happened, the time travel, and then after the time travel, obviously one thing that you gotta hit, the
ancient one.
Ancient one?
Tilda Swinton?
Huh? Time
Stone, Doctor Strange.
Oh, that too. Well, I was saying them going to get the Soul Stone.
Oh yeah, they send Black Widow and Hawkeye to get the Soul Stone, and it actually ends up in a fight because when they discover that somebody has to sacrifice their own life to get the Soul Stone.
Yeah, so they fuck each other up too.
They got into a huge fight over who was going to do it because
they still were so nice to each other. Though.
It was because Hawkeye felt that he should be the one to do it because he had done so many horrible things.
The thing is, it wouldn't matter though. If it's alternate timelines,
that's true. In an alternate timeline, it was the other one that sacrificed themselves. But the thing is in their timeline, anyway, they get into this huge fight. They both think that they should sacrifice themselves because Black Widow has never really had much of a family, and her family is Clint. Yeah. That's about it.
And his kids.
And his kids, yeah. But Clint thinks that he should be the one to sacrifice himself because of all the horrible things he's done. He's murdered so many people in the 5 years that everything happened.
Yeah.
And so he decides that he's going to do it, and it ends up in this huge fight, and they end up both jumping off the cliff.
Yep.
And Black Widow gets him grappled to the edge of the thing, and she's just holding on to him, so he has no choice but to either let go or let both of them fall.
Would anyone get the stone in that case?
I think whoever hit the ground last.
I wonder if, like, before they hit the ground, the soul stone would go to them and they would end up in that, like, pond area.
If they had both jumped, that would have been insane.
That would have been funny as fuck.
They're just holding hands in the stones.
What would be funnier is if they both jumped and then there's just Thanos at the, like, at the top.
Bottom.
No, at the top, and he's just like, thank you. And, like, grabs the stone, goes on with his day. But,
it ends up being Black Widow who sacrifices herself to get the stone because she wants Clint to see his family again.
Yeah. And he does.
He does. He goes home. He spends.
Sees
his family.
That's one of the big things with Hulk. When Hulk puts on the Infinity Gauntlet and snaps, you're thinking like, oh, he's gonna be fine. Fucking destroys himself.
Yeah, he ends up in an arm brace for the rest of the movie.
His arm is burnt as fuck. Him up. And then also he says he tries to get Black Widow back, but he couldn't.
Yeah. With
the snap.
Gamora we have to explain how Thanos comes back into it because at this point Thanos doesn't know. They send War Machine and Nebula back to
Ant-Man
Morag. Nope.
No?
Ant-Man was with Iron Man and Captain America, grabbing the time, space, and Mind Stones.
Yeah.
But Nebula and War Machine go to Morag to get the Power Stone in the same time frame that Black Widow and Hawkman are getting the Soul Stone from Vormir. And because Nebula has a neural network that is connected to Thanos' ship, her and the Nebula from 2014 are both sharing that network, so they end up seeing her memories.
Yep.
Kidnapping Nebula and
implanting the old Nebula
into the old team.
That sounds inappropriate.
And she ends up basically they send in a double agent, a doppelganger.
Yeah.
And then she manages to bring Thanos to 2023 from 2014 to start the invasion early after they've collected all the Infinity Stones so that he can just take them and do what he wants to do without having to go on a huge search. And then it starts in an all-out war.
And Gamora comes back with them.
Yep, Gamora comes back with them, and she actually, even though this is the old Gamora that still worked for Thanos at the time, it was right before she was about to turn and become one of the Guardians of the Galaxy. It was right before when she was looking for the Power Stone.
Which sucks though, because now she doesn't have the memories of meeting.
We don't know. We actually don't know at the end of the movie if she went back to 2014 or if she stayed in 2023.
It didn't seem like at all like she's like still gonna be with them.
She wasn't on the Guardians ship at the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't seem like she's gonna be there. But who does seem like they're gonna be there is Thor. The Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Thor decides to give up the city that they've reestablished called New Asgard in Norway. He gives up leadership to Valkyrie.
Yep.
And leaves her there in charge of all the Asgardians while he goes off with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So we probably will see Thor in Guardians 3.
Hopefully, and that's good because his comedy now is much different than it used to be. So he'll have that nice mixture of comedy and seriousness.
But let's go back to other parts of the ending. So, huge battle ensues. Just before the battle, Hulk snapped the Infinity Gauntlet and brought back all of the people who were dusted.
Mm-hmm.
And so halfway through this huge fight with them and Thanos, after the Avengers facility is completely annihilated, you just see portals start opening up.
Oh, that was pretty good.
And you just see one, and I forget who came through first, but it wasn't Doctor Strange.
Was it Black Panther? No, that was him and the two girls.
Yeah, it was him and Shuri and Okoye.
Yeah. What were the others?
They were the second group to show up, but one person randomly shows up. I can't remember who the first
Scarlet
one was.
Witch.
Scarlet Witch, yep.
Yeah.
She came out of nowhere because they were right outside it. She comes through first.
Yeah, she immediately goes for Thanos.
Yep.
She don't give a fuck. She's like, you took everything.
And then all these portals start opening up that are huge, bringing in the entire armies from Wakanda. All of the Guardians come back.
It would have been funny if he brought back literally everyone who's been snapped. Like, and you just have, like, millions of people throwing trash at Thanos.
That would have
like
been
on
hilarious.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, like we were saying, Captain America wields Mjolnir because Thor gets the fucking shit beat out of him by Thanos in hand-to-hand combat.
He still did pretty well.
And then you just see Mjolnir come out of nowhere, hit Thanos in the back of the head, and then it flies back to Captain America. And I was surprised because I don't know if you remember seeing Avengers Age of Ultron when Vision first lifts Thor's hammer. Yeah. Everybody in the theater gasped really loud.
Yeah.
But so when I saw Captain America with the hammer, I was expecting like this huge applause, and we got nothing.
We got like a
woo!
What the fuck?
Yeah, that was about all we got.
There's that one guy who randomly, I can't remember what part, was like, oh, shit. And I was like, I like this guy. I'd get along with him.
But anyway, then he goes full force on Thanos, going back and forth.
Oh, I love it when he throws up the shield, hits it with the hammer.
Yep.
And, like, it was bouncing off, and he would catch the...
my favorite part was when he was flying down at him, and if you remember,
when he hits the shield,
he hits the shield to create the shockwave.
That was pretty awesome.
Also, another thing that they brought back from Avengers 1.
Yeah.
Thor powering through Iron Man's suit with just a bunch of fucking lightning. Because ever since that happened in Avengers, we were like, why don't they actually use that?
You brought that up like a couple months ago. And
then finally, they do it in Avengers Endgame. He brings out all these repulsors, and Thor just hits him with lightning and power blasts Thanos' face.
Yeah, I'd like to point out, everyone thought Thor was going to be like the big motherfucker who takes down Thanos. Yeah. But then you had Captain America basically one-on-one-ing Thanos for a while.
Yeah.
And then you have Iron Man, the guy who's like the least powerful out of all of them, fucking wrecking Thanos.
That's true.
Like towards that end scene, like he was fucking beating the shit out of him.
He was done.
And if you recall, on number 1, the only person that was even able to lay a scratch on Thanos was Iron Man.
Yep, all that for a drop of blood.
Yeah, and like I think it's pretty awesome how they.
Well, also you got to remember at this point Thanos doesn't have any of the stones.
Yeah.
The fact that Thanos had the Power Stone made him that much more invincible.
Yeah.
But the main thing was
I was thinking Hawkeye was gonna like at least use. He's running around with it for so long.
He's holding it like a football. I expected him to at least put it on.
I expected him to put it on and maybe like have like people running at him and he turns them into butterflies or some shit.
That would have been so awesome. Or use the Space Stone to speed himself up.
Oh my god, he
turns into Quicksilver.
What if they would have brought back Quicksilver
as a different actor?
No, same actor.
Well, the reason that
because he's a little bitch.
He didn't want to do the workout regimen. But. No, the saddest part of the movie, right at the end of the battle, Tony.
Yep.
He ends up grabbing all the Infinity Stones, and he puts them in the Iron Man suit and snaps Thanos and his army out of existence.
Which, if you remember right, fucked up Hulk.
And Thanos. It fucked up his arm.
Yeah.
Remember?
And this is a normal human we're talking about.
And the power of the stones actually ends up overwhelming him.
Yep. And killing him.
He dies. But he dies surrounded by his family.
We got so depressed just now.
He dies surrounded by his family, whether you want to say that.
Even Pepper, too.
Pepper was there.
Her coming out, by the way, was pretty fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah. She comes in as rescue.
Yeah.
Her suit in the comics, and it was actually very accurate.
I thought it was Lady of Iron.
No.
Who's that? Is that his daughter? I thought there's a Lady of Iron, isn't there?
No.
I thought that's a thing.
No.
Maybe I'm wrong.
You are.
Okay. But yeah, no, that was pretty awesome. But no, so when he dies, Spider-Man gets another one of these scenes. You like on Infinity War, he has the I don't want to go. I don't want to go. But
when Spider-Man first comes back too, with all the other ones, Iron Man stops in the middle of the fight and just hugs him.
Yeah, and then also, well, you have to remember that was like probably a very
that was the biggest thing that sparked him into actually wanting to try and do this, because he had bonded with Peter so much.
When he talks to Captain America right at the beginning when he first comes back home, and the kid died in my arms, and you can hear like the emotion in his voice. That part actually got me a little bit. I had some welling up in my eyes.
Morgan Stark.
Oh, the little girl.
Tony's daughter that he had.
At his funeral, when he's like, "What do you want?" She's like, "Cheeseburgers," and he's like, "I'm gonna get you all the cheeseburgers you want." That's when I started crying. That was what got me. Him dying was like sad for me, but her.
Do you know why that was such a callback? The first Iron Man movie, when Iron Man comes back from the Middle East, he gets in the car, he says, "I want two things. The first thing, I want an American hamburger." And then the second thing is that he wants to open a press conference. But the thing is, so she was born in that 5-year gap where after everyone had passed away, they were out living in the woods.
If you remember Infinity War, he said that he had a dream.
He had a son named Morgan, though. But he named his daughter Morgan still. But anyway, this happens, and when they're going to fix the timeline or whatever, Tony says, "I want to bring everybody back. I want to have back everything that I lost, but I can't lose what I found."
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Morgan was still alive at the end of it. Like, time wasn't reversed or anything. They literally just brought back everybody who was snapped out.
Which is good. Instead of stopping the initial snap, they just
snapped
it.
Yeah.
Which is a better way to do it, so you don't have to deal with timeline bullshit.
Yep. But, and then next what happened was, after Tony's death, he's surrounded by his family, as in Pepper, I think Spider-Man was there, War Machine, Thor,
Captain America, all of
them. Yeah, they were all there, and he just lays there dying, and then
he doesn't even get to say anything.
All he said one thing, and it was so faint that you could barely hear it. And it was mainly that he just said, "I love you" to Pepper.
Yeah, basically all he was doing was like slowly moving his hand, and I think he touches his Peter Parker's face.
Yeah.
He's just happy to see him. That part was super fucking sad.
At the end of the movie, they send Captain America back in time.
Yeah.
They send him back to put the Infinity Stones back at the exact same point that they left, so that no timelines would change.
Yep.
And so they send him back. And for them, they're about to pull him back 5 seconds later, and they say it's going to take Cap all the time he needs before he gets pulled out. But they go to pull him back after putting back the Infinity Stones, and he doesn't come back.
Yep.
They look over at the lake, and they see a man sitting on a bench. And they walk over, and it's Captain America.
And he's like 100 years old.
No, he was in his like 70s or 80s.
Well, he went back to the 40s.
Yeah, he went back to the 40s. He was 42, so that would make him
old
over 100. He was over 100.
He just looked like he was like. He looked like he was.
Well, that's probably an effect of the super soldier serum that he lives longer.
I wonder if he's still strong as fuck.
I don't think he's strong. Maybe he could still probably run.
I thought they were gonna kill him off.
That's what everybody thought. Everybody thought he was going to be the one to go to Vormir.
Or maybe even not that. Maybe he gets old like that, and then he's just there and he has a heart attack. So I thought they were still going to kill him. Part of me wonders, because I don't know if you remember this, but in the comics they did have like an old Captain America. They did, but I don't think that's where they're going with this, because he looks much more fragile than the old Captain America.
I think if they still keep him in the movies,
have the new Avengers talk to him.
I think they're gonna have him as an old man, as an advisor to the Avengers.
And then he gives the shield.
He passes on his shield to Sam Wilson.
Yep.
Which, in the comics, it's actually pretty cool because he still keeps the Falcon suit, but he recolors it as Captain America, and he uses the shield.
Yep.
So he just flies in, throws the shield, and grabs it again and takes off.
I wonder if he's actually going to be able to bounce it off walls and catch it like Captain America.
Maybe. Imagine if he bounces it off an airplane.
Well, he's not as strong as Captain America. He's a normal human. So you imagine that. Think about how heavy that shield is, and he has to chuck that off 3 walls to catch it. I don't think he's going to throw that hard enough.
I honestly was hoping that they were going to make Bucky Captain America.
Yeah. Well, he's also a super soldier, so that would have been cooler.
But yeah, that happened. You get to see Cap finally get his dance with Peggy.
Yep.
But there are some things broken about the ending, I will admit. Because the way that they explain time is that it doesn't change a timeline. If you go back and change things, it creates an alternate universe.
Yeah.
Where that thing was different. So, where he went back and stayed in the 40s, he shouldn't have been there in that same time. He should have been off on his own timeline where he didn't stay.
See, like I said, I see that slightly different, but it's difficult for me to explain it. Because it's technically it can still, in my opinion,
well,
he
was on their timeline, but things still changed. Because that would have been the timeline where she was still with her husband where he was gone.
You know what would be fucking funny as shit? You go back and you watch Avengers 1 and you just see an older man watching them fight, eating like popcorn or something, and it's still him. Like it's the older version of him that's been living all that time, and then there's the younger version of him fighting. He's like, that's me. Like that would be cool as fuck. Like he's just watching himself and nobody knows that that's him.
This is kind of sad, but what would have happened if he goes back in time and the person that comes back sitting on the bench was Stan Lee?
See, I was literally just thinking that. I was like, what if they would have rebranded Stan Lee's face? Like, not like ruining it, but make it look slightly like Chris Evans and
Stan Lee was in the movie.
Yeah,
I almost said Bruce Lee.
He was in the movie. Stan Lee was like, make love, not hate, or something.
At the beginning, it was the 70s, and he goes, make love, not war.
But yeah, no, I thought it would have been cool if they like turned him in like Stan Lee as old Captain America. I thought that would have been, but they made Steve Rogers, the old Steve Rogers, look like they did make him look like Chris Evans, but I feel like they did use an actual old guy as the main model, instead of just CGIing the fuck out of it.
They just CGI'd Cap's face onto it.
Yeah, it's like a face swap situation on Snapchat, but better than Superman's mustache. But
fucking mustache,
fucking stupid ass mustache. All he had to do was shave the mustache. That's all for the next one. But yeah, for me, in my opinion, really good movie.
Yep.
All the callbacks were huge for me because me and you, we've seen how far back? How many movies? Avengers 2?
We started seeing the movies together, going to the premieres. It wasn't Avengers 2. It was a little bit after that. It started with Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, okay.
Yeah, that was where we started. We saw Guardians 2.
Yeah.
Because Guardians 2 actually came out before Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people don't remember. Although Doctor Strange takes place after. I don't know.
It's a lot to think about.
It's a lot of...
Doctor Strange came out around the same time as Ant-Man. That's all I remember.
We didn't see Ant-Man together.
I saw it. I've seen every movie in the theater since not the Incredible Hulk, but like that's the only one I missed. We even
saw the Fantastic Four remake together.
Yep.
And that was garbage.
Yeah, I'm really hoping they rebrand it. I'm hoping they use... Okay, this new thing, Avengers Endgame. They didn't do anything to build the universe for X-Men or Fantastic Four.
Also, if you haven't seen it yet and you're listening to this because you're a dumbass, there is no end credit scene. Don't waste your time. We did, and we got fucking pissed.
Yeah, we should have put that at the beginning. But, no, there's no world building for Fantastic Four or any of that.
It's more like world killing.
Yeah. I was very confused about that because I thought they were going to have something.
I want to see something interesting because I would like to see another movie that takes place in between that time of the snap, but I want it to show what happened to other planets that we've been introduced to. like the Kree, watching them deal with half the population.
They could create a fucking Netflix Marvel show called The Snap.
They would call it The Decimation because Kevin Feige's an idiot.
I like The Snap. It's better.
It's already been labeled The Snap. Don't try to rename it. Fuck you.
Kevin Feige redoes everything. And ruins the Justice League. And that mustache! Sorry.
Is Kevin Feige on Justice League?
Yeah.
Oh.
Zack Snyder made the Justice League to be a little bit darker, but not quite as dark as Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Then Kevin Feige was like, too dark. Let's turn it into an Avengers movie.
And it didn't work.
It. He literally had Batman making jokes left and right.
Like if
Batman doesn't make jokes left and right.
He's brooding.
Yeah, he might do like a snide remark, but with his voice. But like
he cracks a joke once in a while.
Bruce Wayne literally falls, hurts his back. You were there with me, and then he's like, "Yep, he's right. Something's bleeding." Remember? He's like, "Tell me, do you bleed? You will." And then he's like, "Yep, something's definitely bleeding." And it's like Batman wouldn't say that. Yeah, he just wouldn't. Okay, that's off subject. But yeah,
anyway, Avengers Endgame, great
fantastic
fucking movie.
If you liked the universe and if you liked watching the characters get better and grow, you're going to like this movie. Because
it all
culminates. If you don't like watching your favorite characters die, stop watching Game of Thrones and stop watching Marvel movies.
Yeah, that's about all we can say.
Because they're gonna keep dying. They always die. Somebody dies in every movie lately.
That's true.
Actually, that's been happening.
Yeah, that's a pattern.
Almost every movie, somebody's been dying.
Well, anyway,
that's right. Even Guardians 2. Somebody dies.
Yeah,
big characters.
Yeah,
he may have been your father, but it wasn't your daddy.
Yeah. Mary Poppins, yo.
Oh God. Okay, let's end it there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You guys have a good day.
All right. So please like,
comment,
and subscribe.
This has been Rants and Raves.
Bye.